Yo, what is up, guys? It is Detox, and welcome back to another video. Now, I have to apologize for the weak ass upload schedule. I promise y'all, I was gonna say it's not my fault, but it is my fault. I have really just been a bitch, and I've neglected this channel for so long, and I decided not to really take it seriously. But I hope that I've changed since then, and I hope that I can give y'all regular stories at least once a week that we can all fucking listen to and have a good time with. Alright, with that being said, again, I apologize to the 7 subscribers who have joined. At the end of the day, though, it doesn't fucking matter. Let's get into the story today. Now, at this time, I was somewhat of an experienced acid user. I'd probably used the substance about 7 to 8 times at this point, but I wasn't really ready for what came next on this day because I never had a moment where I had a mood swing off of acid. You know, normally when you're in a trip, you maintain one central mood, and it's either positive or negative depending on where your brain has gone that day. But for this day, my brain was pretty much positive. I was having a good trip from the moment I dosed until the moment this incident happened. So to set the stage for you, like I always say, I woke up one day, parents were out of town, my girlfriend was nowhere to be found, so I just figured, you know what, I might as well do some acid. Not sure what age I was at this point. I'm pretty sure it was before I went to college, and let me tell y'all, there's a bunch of stories about college coming up in the next few videos, but I hadn't been to college, and I was probably still at home, but I was bored that day, so I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and grab some fucking acid, do a tab, just chill out on my back porch. My parents had this beautiful back porch with a hot tub, a bunch of chairs. It was all screened in so you could smoke out there. It was a good time, so I was like, fuck it, you know what, everyone's out of the crib today. Let's go ahead and do some fucking acid. So I decided to hit up the plug. Everything went normal with the serve. I grabbed my tab, I went back home, and I decided to drop as soon as I got there. Now, what makes this acid trip a little bit different from the other ones I had already done is most of the time I would always have a plan in place of what I was gonna do while I was tripping. This time I just said fuck it. I was home alone. I had never done acid alone before, and I decided it was a good idea. And it was a really good idea up until the first 2 hours, but then I started peaking. And when that shit hit me, let me tell you, it hit me like a motherfucking truck. I decided to start calling some friends, so I hit up every goddamn friend on my phone. I was like, yo, what you doing, what you doing, what you doing, to every motherfucker in my goddamn contacts. Now, my friend Trey from previous videos had answered my line, and he was like, yo, I ain't doing shit. What you want to do? You want to smoke? You want to chill? What's up? What you want to do? And I told him, look, dude, I just dropped a tab of acid. I'm willing to come get you, but at the same time, it's got to be quick because I'm going to be at the point where I can't fucking move in about 10 minutes. And he said, okay, let's do it. Hurry the fuck up. Get here. Let's go. Now, I say this as a precaution to everyone taking acid. Please don't drive on this shit. It's the worst thing you could possibly fucking do if you're not prepared to do it. And even if you think you are prepared to do it, like I thought I was, you still might run into some complications. Now, the time period of when I was going to get Trey was about 4 p.m. This is when the schools let out, man. And let me tell you, I did not think about this shit at all. I had no thought of this shit in my fucking mind. I just thought, let's go get fucking Trey and let's have a good time. Let's smoke some fucking blunts. Bruh, I got on the road while I was tripping with all those cars on there and immediately started tweaking my fucking dick off, brother. Like, holy shit. It was something else. I drove down the road through the traffic. I was going away from traffic, so I wasn't with the traffic, you know what I'm saying? So all the cars in the left lane were stacked up. They were all in traffic, but it felt like I was gonna run into one of those motherfuckers at any time possible. So my smart ass was like, let's take the back way. So I took the back way, and man, it was fine for about a minute until I realized the back way was literally just another side road to get onto the main road. At this point, I was full on tripping. I was fucked up. I wasn't trying to drive, but I had to pick up Trey because that's my guy, you know, we were gonna smoke. But the problem is with the side road, in comparison to the main road, one of the dumbest mistakes I ever made. One of them has a stop sign, one of them has an actual light. Now, if the road I went on had an actual stoplight that told you when to go, what time to go, I don't think I would have had that big of an issue. But my dumbass, thinking I was smart taking the back road, even though I had to go across the main road anyway, I thought I'd take the side road. So I ended up at the latter of that decision, which is the stop sign. Holy fuck, the stop sign. When everyone gets off work, I'm tripping fucking balls off acid, and I have to make the decision when to turn left across a fucking 4-lane road pretty much to get onto the main highway. And you can already tell how this goes. I made a terrible decision, but somehow God stopped me. I drove out into traffic. I genuinely did. But at the same time, it wasn't bad enough where I got hit. I thought I had an opening, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty big opening. I kind of just tweaked, but I got so scared, I put the car in reverse, and I went back to the stop sign. I was fucking terrified to cross this road, regardless of what type of opening I had. So I mustered up enough courage to go again, and this is the craziest fucking part, bro. It was when traffic was busiest. It was the dumbest decision. I drove out there and there were literally 8 fucking cars ready to ram into me. And I was like, okay, bro, I gotta back up again. So I put the car in reverse and I back it up again. And I was like, this time is my final try. I'm gonna make sure everything is clear. I'm gonna fucking do this. Keep in mind, I am peaking at this point. I am tripping fucking sack. Every single tree is breathing and telling me I'm a fucking God, like there's no way I'd die even if I took the chance. And then every single building is telling me you're gonna die, don't take the chance. So it's like 2 devils on each shoulder, or a devil and an angel on each shoulder, but one of them is buildings and one of them is fucking trees. They're not even people. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on right now? So I said, fuck it. I waited until everything was clear. All the traffic had been stopped, and I successfully made my way across the road. Now, to get to Trey's house, you didn't actually have to drive on the main highway. You just had to go on an exit road and take a left under that bitch, so it was pretty smooth sailing from that. I got to Trey's crib, and he looked at me for about 2 seconds, and he said, bro, I can't even lie to you. I'm fucking driving this bitch. And I told him, you know what? I don't like people driving my car normally, but at the same time, I am not opposed to you taking the wheel at this point because I was fucked up. I would have gotten one of us killed. Remember, guys, don't fucking drive off acid. It's not worth it no matter what you think. Just don't do it. Anyways, me and Trey get back to my house. He drives my car successfully there, and we decide to go inside and go smoke some blunts out on the back deck. Now, this went on for about an hour or so, and I wasn't tripping as hard as I was when I was in the car. The weed actually calmed me down, which is crazy because usually off acid, that shit is going to make you trip way harder. And visually, I was tripping harder. When I looked at the smoke, my deck at my parents' house has this screened-in mesh type of thing, like, you know, screens on windows and shit. And whenever I'd take a hit and exhale, the fucking smoke would have the little squares of the mesh in the background, if you get what I'm saying. So I was tripping harder visually, but mentally I was actually calming down, and I wasn't as excited as I was before. I don't know if it was weaker acid and I already started to come down a little bit, or the weed was starting to mellow me out and I was starting to calm down. I don't know what the fuck it was. Hey, here's another pro tip. Whenever you're tripping, and if you're tripping too hard and you want to come down, do not smoke smoke more weed. It's just not gonna work for you 99% of the time. I don't know what the fuck it was this day. I guess it was probably just some weaker acid, but don't fucking do that shit. Anyways, I was calming down a little bit mentally. Visuals were getting stronger, but I just thought it was looking cool. And I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm getting bored. It's been about an hour of us smoking and talking, and it was fun at the beginning, but I decided, you know what, fuck this. I want to go inside, play the game. So I told Trey, hey, I think I'm gonna go upstairs and get on the game. If you want to play with me, is there any way you could get a ride home or some shit, or you can hang out with me in my room, watch me play? It's not gonna be that fucking fun though. I was kind of a dick, not gonna lie, being a little bit selfish, but hey, sorry Trey if you're listening. He was actually chill about it, and he said, yeah, I'm kind of getting bored too. I'll probably hop on the game, you know, get a ride home, we can play and shit, and just, you know, talk on there. And I told him that sounded fantastic. Now, this is where things took a turn for the worse. At the beginning of the video, I told you guys that I rarely ever had mood swings off of acid. Well, this time, a little bit different. See, back in high school, and I still vape today, but back in high school, they had these vapes called Pops, if any of y'all remember. See, I was smoking Trey out and letting him hit my vape as much as he want because he drove me back home because I was so fucked up when I went to go get him. So he had my Pop the entire time, and I really did not notice it because I was not focused on my vape at all. We were talking for maybe about 20 more minutes, and Trey eventually found a ride from his brother-in-law or his sister's boyfriend. I don't know what the relationship was, but he lived close by and he agreed to take Trey back. I don't know what the agreement was. He just agreed to take Trey back. What I didn't realize is that Trey never gave me my Pop back. And when he left, I guess he had just forgot it in his pocket. I know he didn't intentionally do this. He wouldn't take my shit. But when he left, I was looking all over for my vape and I couldn't find it. And I started to freak out a little bit. And the mental effects of the acid started to kick in more because I was thinking if I didn't have my vape, I wouldn't have anything to smoke because I already smoked all my weed. And I wanted to be smoking some shit while I was off of acid because every time I do acid, I gotta be smoking some shit, right? So I tweaked the fuck out, looked everywhere for this motherfucker. And next thing you know, I'm like, there's no way he fucking stole my shit. And of course he wouldn't do this. He's not that type of person. But when I was tripping, that really did not compute in my mind. So I thought he just straight up jugged my shit. And that's when I got fucking pissed. I don't know what made me act like this. It was obviously the acid, but I don't know why I was thinking this. I real deal thought he stole my Pop. So I called Trey and I was like, yo, dude, do you still have my vape? And he was like, yeah. He said that he forgot it in his pocket because just out of natural instinct, if any one of y'all knows, if you have a disposable, whether it's your friends or whatever, there have been some times where you've accidentally put that bitch in your pocket. Not even intending to steal it or anything. It just happens out of like, I don't know, muscle memory or some shit. I mean, it happens. It's happened to me before, and he's done the same shit as well. He wasn't taking my shit. Now, I wasn't too upset at first because I didn't think that he actually stole my shit. In the back of my mind, I still thought, okay, it was a simple mistake. It happens. We've both done it to each other before. But after he told me that he wouldn't be able to bring it back to me for another hour, I freaked the fuck out. I then proceed to go off on, I don't remember everything that I said, but on one of the most angry, most bizarre rants I have ever gone on in my entire life. I remember I kept on saying, you fucking took my shit, bro. You fucking took my shit. Bring my shit back now. And Trey is not one of these people who will tolerate disrespect, regardless of how fucked up you may be, and regardless of whether he knows that you're just saying this because you're intoxicated. So he came back at me and started yelling at me. This just plunged my mood into fucking hell, and I became like the fucking Hulk. I got so fucking mad. I was screaming and shit. I was like, bro, bring my fucking shit back, like all this shit. I was being a real fucking asshole, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually, an hour passes, and he ends up bringing me my shit back, and he literally just comes to the door, hands me my vape, and walks the fuck out. And I text him, I was like, dude, why were you being such a dick? I low-key forgot that this whole thing even happened. I was tripping so hard in my bedroom. And all he says back is, don't talk to me right now, bro. And I was like, damn, fuck it. I just lost one of my best friends that I've ever had. I don't know what I did, even though I kind of knew what I did, but I didn't think I was being as harsh as I actually was. And I was like, fuck it. You know what? He took my vape. He should have brought it back. Just being selfish as hell, not seeing things from his point of view. And I kind of just forgot about the whole conversation until we got to school on Monday. School starts, lunch rolls around, and I see Trey sitting at the table. So obviously he's my friend. I go up to him, say what's up and shit. And he just has this glaring look on his face like he's pissed off. So I ask him, dude, what the fuck's wrong? What happened to you today? And the only thing he says to me is, if you weren't one of my best friends, I swear to God, I would have beat your fucking ass. And I'm thinking in my head, what the fuck did I do? Like, there's nothing I could have possibly done. He then proceeds to explain to me what the fuck I was actually saying to him when he, quote unquote, took my vape. And after that, I just profusely apologized to him. I felt so horrible. It was just a terrible situation. And I almost got my ass beat, because not gonna lie, Trey probably would have beat the fuck out of me. There's no way I'm gonna beat him in a fight, realistically. So the moral of the story is, guys, don't be mean and disrespectful to your friends no matter how fucked up you are, and no matter how much you think you're in the right about a situation, which I was. And if I would have been respectful about it, it probably would have gone down in a much better way, and I probably would have gotten my vape back faster. Yeah, just don't fucking act like that when your friend accidentally takes something. He obviously didn't steal it. There was no need for me to act like that. Now, as the fucking weeks pass and the months go on, it became like a funny joke between us, because he had ended up telling me later in that week, after I'd felt bad and after I said sorry, that he chiefed the fuck out of my shit on the way back, and he was trying to kill that bitch before he got to me, which kind of a dick move, but at the same time I started it, so can't really be mad at him. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna try to post every single week, like I said in the beginning. I apologize again for the extremely long break. I don't know how many years it's been. It's probably been like 3 or 4 at this point, but yeah, if you enjoyed, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you fuck with the stories and shit, and I'll be sure to get y'all more content. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week.